Hello and welcome to Chabot News for November 29th, 2017. My name is Will Matthews, and in today's news we will talk about a recall of 900,000 minivans, and in entertainment, Ariel will tell us about the American Music Awards, and in the sports world, Victor keeps us updated on the Raiders. All that and more on Chabot News. A domestic dispute turned deadly when a man shot and killed his wife, her daughter, and the daughter's boyfriend at their Virginia home on Thanksgiving evening. Police say that Christopher Gaddis, 58, was charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder and 3 counts of use of a firearm in the commission of a felony. His victims were Jeanette Gaddis, 58, her daughter, 30-year-old Candace Kunz, and Kunz's boyfriend, 36-year-old Andrew Butthorn. All 3 victims died of gunshot wounds. Police arrested Christopher Gaddis at the scene. The suspect is a youth pastor at Grace Lutheran Church, according to NBC 12. Somalia is, for most Americans, known only as the location of the disastrous 1993 Battle of Mogadishu depicted in 2002's Black Hawk Down. But the East African country has also become the site of Washington's latest escalation of the amorphous war on terror. U.S. airstrikes and boots on the ground have dramatically increased in 2017. This is happening without any public debate, congressional authorization, or the most basic argument from the White House as to how, exactly, this military intervention is obligatory. To all appearances, it is a new theater of war without end or focus, undertaken without due consideration of necessity, unintended consequences, or realistic prospects of conclusion. And now, here is Cody keeping us updated with what's going on here at Chabot.
For several weeks now, the area directly in between Building 1900 and 2000 has been directly blocked off due to a leakage in the piping located below the pathways between the buildings, construction which started on October 12th. The hydronic pipe leak yet has been going incognito for over a year, according to some reports. The hydronic pipe leak raises concerns amongst many of the population here at Chabot, with the piping directly affecting the AC cooling system on campus, as the cooling system is connected to the piping, along with the water flow on campus being directly connected to the piping throughout the campus. Now back to you, Will.
Thanks, Cody. The value of a Bitcoin has sailed past $10,000 just days after it reached $9,000. The virtual currency passed the landmark figure for the first time. It has been quite a year for the currency. It was trading below $1,000 at the start of 2017. Some analysts say Bitcoin is a speculative bubble that could burst any time, but others feel it will keep on soaring. Honda announced a recall for about 900,000 Odyssey minivans after some minor injuries due to the second-row seats being improperly secured. In the affected Honda minivans, the second-row seats may tip forward and cause harm if not properly latched when readjusted. The recall covers around 900,000 models years 2011 to 2017 Honda Odyssey minivans, all of which, with the exception of 2,000 vehicles, are located in North America. So far, 46 minor injuries have been reported in relation to the issue. Honda is currently looking into a fix to make sure the latch is properly secured. In the meantime, a detailed instruction sheet on properly securing the second-row seats has been posted. To see if the car you drive is affected by a recall, go to vinrcl.safercar.gov/VIN. Now, here's Ariel with the news in the entertainment world.
This year's American Music Awards was a reflection of the year in pop music, with women dominating the show, but not as nominees or winners. In categories like Artist of the Year and Favorite Pop Rock Album, where men and women compete, no female acts were in contention. Only 6 female artists or groups that include women won in the more than 24 fan-voted awards handed out Sunday night. However, the legendary Diana Ross was given a Lifetime Achievement Award, which former President Barack Obama rightfully noted was an overdue honor. But the women instead took over the show with powerful, incredible, emotional, and inspiring performances from Ross, Pink, Kelly Clarkson, Lady Gaga, and more. A British camera operator has died on the set of the BBC Netflix miniseries The Forgiving Earth. Agent Sarah Prince says Mark Milsom died in Ghana over the weekend while filming a nighttime stunt sequence for the thriller. She said Monday that an investigation is underway. Prince says Milsom was an incredibly humble and talented man. We are all devastated by his loss. Milsom was 54 and had worked on TV series including Sherlock and Game of Thrones, and films including Saving Private Ryan and Quantum of Solace. The BBC said he was a hugely talented and much respected colleague. The broadcaster said it was deeply shocked and saddened. That's all in entertainment today. Back to you, Will.
Thanks, Ariel. Former high-level officials and scientists who have always remained in the shadows came forward on one platform. These insiders have long-standing connections to government agencies which may have programs investigating unidentified aerial phenomena. The team includes a 25-year veteran of the CIA's Directorate of Operations, a Lockheed Martin Program Director for Advanced Systems at Skunk Works, and a former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Intelligence. At the official launch of the To the Stars Academy of Arts and Science, an innovative public benefit corporation which will advance research into unexplained phenomena and develop related technology. The Academy intends to release game-changing information of the type interested people have been seeking for a long time. The fact is, we might not necessarily be alone, says Luis Elizondo. Now is the time to move forward and try to answer some of life's deepest mysteries. Now, here's Avier with the LA Times boycott against Disney.
Media giant Disney was in hot water on November 3rd when the decision was made to cease conducting business with Los Angeles Times for their unfair business review in the city of Anaheim, banning the publication from private screenings for Thor Ragnarok. According to the article published on Los Angeles Times in September, Disney has not been paying their fair share to the city of Anaheim for Disneyland Park. The city of Anaheim has granted various bonds, rebates, and tax shields to the park for years. Disney also supports and funds various aspects of Anaheim, including funding for the local police department. Even so, employees of Disneyland Park and residents of Anaheim share the same concerns that Disney isn't doing enough for the city. Back to you, Will.
Thanks, Avier. A self-taught rocket engineer who claims to believe the Earth is flat planned to launch himself nearly 2,000 feet in the air on a homemade steam rocket this Saturday. Mad Mike Hughes, a 61-year-old limo driver, told the Associated Press that he'll be lifting off over the California ghost town of Amboy, traveling about a mile at 500 miles per hour, reaching 1,800 feet in altitude, and then exiting via parachute. Hughes had to postpone his planned launch for the time being, the Washington Post reported Friday. Hughes said he was unable to obtain the required permits to launch on public land, but now plans for it to take place sometime next week on private property. His ultimate plan, he said, is to launch a rocket into space so he can see for himself whether or not the Earth is flat. Now, here's Victor with sports.
The New York Giants are benching quarterback Eli Manning, and Geno Smith will start this weekend against the Oakland Raiders. Over the last 5 games, we will take a look at Geno, and we will also give rookie third-round pick Gavis Webb an opportunity, Coach Ben McAdoo said in a statement. Manning has started 210 consecutive regular season games for the Giants. So sources told ESPN's Dan Grassnote that the Giants proposed to Manning if he wanted to keep his start streak intact, to play the first halves of the remaining games and come out in the second half for Swift or Webb. Manning, however, declined. The Oakland Raiders were preparing to be without starting wide receiver Michael Crabtree for 2 games for getting into a fight with Denver Broncos quarterback Aqib Talib on Sunday afternoon in Oakland. Crabtree and Talib were ejected for the Week 12 contest minutes into it. The NFL saw the fight to be an embarrassment and handed the 2 bitter rivals a pair of 2-game suspensions. Crabtree and Talib both appealed the 2-game suspension, but there was almost no way that they weren't going to be punished. This was the second time these 2 foes have gone into the last 2 years. However, their appeal was heard and something positive came from it. According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, the NFL has agreed to cut both players' 2-game suspensions in half, meaning that they will only have to sit out Week 13's game for their roles in their on-field melee at the Coliseum last week. That's it for sports. Back to you, Will.
Luke Jackson claims that the picture shows the old lady who died 18 months ago trying to open the kitchen door of the home. One night in the early hours of November 13th, when he could not sleep, Luke got up for a cigarette. The 36-year-old then claims he could hear footsteps downstairs and turned on the light of his phone's camera to see what appeared. But the self-employed landscaper was left stunned after taking a picture and discovering the ghostly figure of an old woman wearing a purple cardigan who stood at the bottom of the stairs. After ruling out any other possible explanations, the dad of 3, Luke, is convinced the woman he photographed is the ghost of the house's former tenant who died 18 months previously. Luke said, "I just can't explain it. This baffles me. The whole thing was just too perfect." That wraps it up for Chabot News this week. Thanks to all the students and staff in the Mass Communications Department here at Chabot College for making this production possible. You can watch us anytime online at youtube.com/ChabotTV. Stay tuned to KCTH Channel 27 for more Chabot TV.